All right, cool. So I know I've seen some of my viewers comment on some of my videos, like what do I do to get this bike? How much money you should have, or how did I plan, and all of it. So I want to just take a couple of minutes to talk about what I did, or what do I do for a living, and how I was able to get this bike. Alright, cool. So before I talk about the bike, I'll just talk a little bit about what I do. Right? So I work as a producer in a gaming company called Zynga. It's a mobile gaming company. We basically do live operations, meaning we take care of games that are already live by introducing new content. Right? That's pretty much it. A producer, when I say I'm not putting money from my own pocket like movie producers. I handle project. I'm a typical project manager there. And we do a little bit more than project management, but yeah, sums up the job. So I don't want to talk too much about the salary aspect of it or anything like that, but it's not a huge deal. I'll tell you, to get this bike, it's not a huge deal. All you need is a bit of a commitment and a bit of planning, right? So when I say planning, I saw this bike when it launched back in, I think, 2019, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 2019. And immediately this bike became a wallpaper. And I had this as a wallpaper till 2021, when they launched another version of the bike, Speedtune 1200, with the Brembo M50s, inverted forks, and a little bit of a small bump in the power. So what I did from 2019 is that my focus was on saving for the down payment, right? And I also calculated how much EMI I can pay, and I arrived at a comfortable number, right, that I can pay and take care of after paying the bike EMI, I can take care of the rent. I can take care of whatever commitments I have. I had all that in me, the numbers with me, and I had to pay approximately 6 lakhs down payment, right? So I had about 2 years of savings time to save this money. So there are a couple of ways to do that. Either you can do SIP. That's the best way to get the money. You will also you're not only saving 1:1. You're also adding, so the profits that you get is also going to this. So insurance and everything can be covered with the profits that you make. So if you want to buy this bike, I would say make a plan, target the date, and calculate how much money you can spare every month, and put them in SIP. And after 2 years, get that target, reach the target, the down payment target, and calculate the EMI that you can pay, and that's about it. And then you just go for it. So it's not like you need to have 15 lakhs throw away money to buy this bike. It's okay. I mean, like we're all working. I mean, most of us are software engineers, or we're working in corporate industry. It's not possible to get that much money in hand. It's okay to buy, get a little bit of loan. I know all these Instagram influencers telling you like how not to take a loan, how you're paying to the bank, but that's okay, man. Come on. If I wanted to save 15 lakhs and then buy the bike, I think I would have touched 40 or 35 or I don't know, whatever. I want to buy the bike when I still have some energy and some what do you call the hunger for these excitement left in my life, right? I don't want to save money till, I don't know, for 5 years, 6 years, and when everything is gone, I'm like, you know what, do I really need the bike right now? No, I want to buy the bike when I feel like I want to buy the bike. So that's about it. Just go for it. Just pay a little EMI, but don't overcommit yourself. Don't pay your entire salary as EMI. Of course, it should not exceed more than 20% or 30% of your salary, whatever EMI you're paying. So you still have a lot of money left to take care of your other needs. But it's not a big deal. But what's important is you need to have a plan, and you need to commit yourself to the plan, and then it will happen. How to buy the bike out of the way. I also want to cover a couple of things that so some of the additional costs that you need to think about, on owning something like Speedster 1200 or any of the modern classics on this category, right? Higher CC, 900 plus CC guys, is the service cost. So it is definitely expensive than cars. I mean, cars once in a year, if you do I have a Skoda Slavia, and with the maintenance package I hardly pay 200 300 rupees. I have a 4 years maintenance package, and without the maintenance package I'm sure the service charge will be somewhere around 2500 3000, right? That's for a car. But this bike, the service cost, I have not gotten the maintenance package, so I'll talk about what is service cost without the maintenance package, right? It's going to cost you a minimum of 10 to 12k every year. It's minimum, and this is just the regular service with the oil change, labor, and other checkups, like whatever fluid is needed. This is just the regular service. And if you want to change any part, let's say the brake pads, I want to change the front brake pads and back brake pads, that's another 25,000 on top of the 12,000 11,000 service costs that you're already paying. That's what you should be prepared for, right? And many people, it's easy to buy the bike, it's okay. I mean, like, if you pay, let's say 7 lakh, if you save like 7 lakhs or 8 lakhs down payment, your monthly EMI for this bike is going to be approximately maybe 8k or 9k, depends on the interest rate and all of it. But and all of a sudden when you give it to service and you're expected to churn out like 25 30k, that's gonna be crazy, right? I don't think people will prepare for it. It's gonna set you back. You might have other plans, to expect it, all of it, right? So this is my advice, right? When you are buying bike like this, you should also be prepared for service. It's not something that you walk into the service station and then you just swipe your card and then pay the service, like you have this cash ready. Many people don't have such kind of cash lying around, like 25 30 40k just randomly coming up in a month. So you be prepared for it. That's all I would say. You be prepared for it. Triumph bikes, even the 400cc has a yearly service interval. That's enough time to save a little bit of money, little bit every month. So you are ready when ultimately when the service time comes, right? So put that little bit of money every month in an SIP or something. Let's say $1,500 or 1,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees every month. And end of the year you would have at least you would have at least have maybe 30 to 35k to withdraw, right? So you're sorted. So 1,500 2,000 rupees every month may not be such a huge thing. I'm sure that we'll be spending that much for going out, eating in a restaurant or whatever it is, right? Just take a little bit from that and put it in an SIP. I'm not an investment expert. I just go with whatever these YouTube people talk about, and they do work pretty well. So just put this little money in the every month, and by the end of the year you are prepped. I mean, whatever the cost is, and you will also have some extra which you can use to buy some accessories or whatever. So that's the way to go about it. There is no shortcut to it. It's proper planning, investment. So you're not drowning in credit card debt or something. My recommendation is never use credit card for this kind of things. Always save money, and this is what I would like to call as pre-EMI. It's just basically you're paying an EMI ahead without interest, and interest works the other way. Interest is given to you because you'll be making some extra cash if you're doing an SIP or something. So this is my advice. Prepare for service, expect a higher service cost, save the money, and if you get anything excess, spend it. I'm not going to say that save it for next year. Just spend it. Come on, have some fun. Get some accessories, get a spare gloves, or get some cool looking gadget for the bike, maybe some mirrors or something like that, maybe a clamp, a better something like that. So that's the bonus tip on service intervals. And yes, of course, you have insurance too. Insurance, I would never advise anyone to compromise on insurance, because I have ACO. I mean, once again, this is not a sponsored video or anything. I have ACO because ACO has a paperless claim process. There is no physical document submission or anything like that. All you have to do is, if there is an incident, you just need to drop the bike in the service station, and everything happens offline on the app directly. You don't have to. I don't think you even have to be physically present, but very convenient. That's the reason why I opt for ACO. I know it's a little expensive, but I won't recommend going for a cheaper insurance, because it will be a huge headache when you want to finally you want to claim something. It's going to be a major problem. I mean, they'll give you a tough time. You'll have to walk around, click multiple photos, have multiple conversations. You don't want to deal with all that when you're already going through something. So go for good insurance that has really good coverage, and even for insurance renewal, my advice is the same. You all know insurance renewal is once in a year, so just what you do is you just put that little extra, maybe 200, 500 or whatever, like 300 rupee or something extra in the SIP along with your service amount, and when the time comes, just withdraw it, and you won't feel a pinch in your wallet. So that's about it. And the additional thing I would say is, like I said, I gave an example about the brake patch, right? So if you have some friends traveling from outside, or if you know some relatives coming from outside, I would say source these parts from European countries or UK, because it's way cheaper. I was lucky that my friend, the friend who rides with me, Deepankar, so he went to UK, and I was able to source these brake pads from UK. It saved me approximately 50 to 60% cost. I know it's not possible. I mean, maybe not possible for everyone, but just an advice. If there is a possibility, you'll be saving a lot more to get these parts directly from outside. Yeah. So that's it. That's my advice on how to buy this bike first, and then how to maintain this bike, and also learn some basic maintenance. So it'll go a long way. I mean, basic maintenance, cleaning the chain. The chain sprocket is going to set you back by maybe 40, with 30 to 40k. So maintain that well. So you instead of changing it for 20-25k kilometers, you can probably change it at 35 or something like that. Mine is already 20,000 done, and I do regularly maintain the chain. Every 600 kilometers I do clean it, lube it. I do it myself. It's a nice feeling to see dirty chain shining after doing a little bit of cleaning work. So I like doing that. So because of that, I'm sure that my chain is going to come for another maybe 10k. It's already 20. I'm sure that it's going to last for another 10,000 without any problem, because it's in really good condition. So do those basic maintenance, and that will also help you pace out that yearly service cost for the bike, right? So it's not everything is coming together, like brake pads, chain sprocket, all of it is not going to come together and surprise you, right? So that's it. That's all I have. Cool.